I think that when we were parents of younger children, we were in charge of them. That's the first port of call to be attentive to. They're beginning to, as young adults, college age students, and then into their 20s and 30s, if we're so lucky to have them come home, they are making some of their own decisions and some of their own mistakes. And our positions as parents need to change. They need to make these mistakes. They need to discover how they want to live, who they want to be. And it's only in making these mistakes that they can begin to make their own way in the world. So the first set of things we don't want to do is continue telling them what to do, or to impose our will on them, or express a lot of judgments about things that we observe that we might not like. That's not very helpful at that point in time. Having said that, when kids come home, they're neither fish nor fowl. They're sort of in between childhood and adulthood, kind of advanced adolescence, I would say, in the early years, like 19, 20, 21, when they're first coming home. Maybe they're coming home after college, or maybe they're living on their own, just working, but they're not quite all there, all together, all formed yet, but they're on their way. And they certainly want to be treated as adults, even though, and they believe that they're all together, even though we may see things in them that don't look that they're all together quite yet. And I think the way I think about it is that the new set of rules is not so much about control, but rather about safety
Yeah.
and mutual respect. So even if you were living with a housemate, you probably wouldn't want to come in at all hours of the day or night. And if you want rapport with your housemate, and it would be nice if you did have a rapport with your housemate, then you would want to at least inform them, if you're not going to be home, so that they're not wondering and worrying about you, so that if they wake up in the morning and you're not there, they're concerned about your whereabouts. So if you're living with decent human beings, and certainly we think our parents are probably decent human beings, people who love you out of care and concern, you wouldn't want to just leave them dangling that way. You'd want to say, gee, I've opted to spend the night where I am. I'll be home in the morning, which is quite a different spot from when you're 17 and you're expected home by midnight, or else you're going to be grounded.
Right.
That's a very big jump I'm making here. So in this situation, I'm describing not wanting to wake up your elders at night, not wanting to unnecessarily worry them with not knowing, even if you're in the most basic way okay. And this is what I mean by safety and respect, because it's a measure of safety to be clear with the people you live with, whoever they may be, whether they're your parents or whether they're your friends or just a housemate, that you would want to have some kind of a rule of safety that, we tell each other where we go, not for the sake of snooping, but for the sake of safety. And also, in that same vein, respect, because if we presume that because we live together, we do in the most basic way care about one another, then we wouldn't want to worry our housemate or our parent. So I'm beginning to talk about this parent role then, in this sense, Dennis, as a situation where when kids come home, we're kind of their housemates for a few weeks.